Someone reached out to me on Reddit asking if I could do a video on overcoming shyness as a salsa lead. They said, when I go out, I struggle going to socials and asking girls to dance. It's totally normal. This is really hard for a lot of leads and even some follows. So what you need to know is getting over shyness is all about three things: pain, proof, and process. What a lot of people don't know about me, especially because I make these videos for you online, is that I grew up super shy, but I've gotten over it, and here's how it went. When I was a kid, I was super afraid of talking to strangers, even on a telephone. So if I needed to get something done, my parents would be like, oh, why don't you just call this person? I'd be like, no, I don't want to call. And this comes from like a deep discomfort of interacting with people outside of your comfort zone. And that's essentially what shyness is. It's a fear of being yourself, of being judged by other people, of what they'll think of you. And it's really sad because this holds you back from doing all sorts of things that you want to do in life, actions you want to take, interactions you want to have, and expressing yourself. It essentially robs you of new relationships with friends, jobs, business opportunities, and even potential romantic relationships. It was so bad that in university, if someone sat next to me, I wouldn't even say hi. I would just keep looking forward. If they said hi to me and they initiated, that'd be fine, but I wasn't able to initiate. And the funny part is that like I could break dance in front of a room full of people and even teach classes, and that wouldn't bother me. It's because you have a comfort zone, and if you're in that comfort zone, everything's fine. But as soon as you step out of it, you're not with your people, you're not in your places, that's when shyness takes over, and it's hard to control how you feel and control the fear that you have of judgment towards yourself. And I hated it, but it's not just something I could delete from my personality, so what I had to do is figure out a way to get over it. I realized how much it was holding me back from doing the things I wanted to do and expressing the things that I wanted to express to people. It was just causing me a lot of pain. And typically what happens is you're not going to make a change until the pain of being shy becomes greater than the pain of being rejected or judged by other people. So let's start off by talking about pain. In my early 20s, Tim Ferriss had a really big effect on me with his ideas and his book, The 4-Hour Workweek. And in The 4-Hour Workweek, he had this brilliant idea, this brilliant exercise called fear setting that helps you flip your fears on their head. So the exercise has 3 questions, and let's use the example of going out to social and asking someone to dance. That's what you're afraid of. So the first question is, what's the worst thing that could happen if I take this action, if I go to the social and if I ask someone to dance? So the idea is to list all those fears or all those worst case scenarios that you can think about in a list. So for example, I'm going to ask for a dance and be rejected. They're going to judge me. My partner's going to be bored and leave in the middle of the dance. They're never going to dance with me again. I'm going to feel like crap and I'm going to go home. At the end of the day, that's not so bad. We often blow up the risks or the dangers in our mind because we're uber focused on them. And what we have to realize is fear is a survival mechanism, but these things aren't actually going to kill us. There's no tiger that's going to eat us. So the next question is, how can I prevent or minimize the risks of these worst case scenarios? Again, write down the steps to reduce the likelihood. For example, take classes with good teachers and really learn good fundamentals. Next, look good, smell good, smile. Simple things, but they're really going to help with not getting rejected. Again, the worst case ends up being you're not having fun and you go home. At the end of the day, that's really not so bad. These things feel scary, but they're not actually dangerous. They're just uncomfortable. Now, here's the last question and the most powerful part of the exercise. What would be the cost of inaction? This could be emotionally, socially, financially, in 1 month, 1 year, 3 years from now. So what might the costs be if I don't go to socials and ask people to dance? Let's say 3 years from now. I won't have gotten any better. I won't have grown at all as a person, personal growth. I won't have a place to go at the end of the week and reduce my stress. I haven't made any new friends. I don't have a community of amazing people surrounding me, supporting me. I'm not able to travel around the world and dance with people because I never learned how to dance. I missed out on meeting the potential girlfriend or future wife, and also you just regret not starting because of all those things. The key idea here is that inaction, giving in to your fear, often has a greater cost of action and taking the leap. The second thing that can help is looking at proof, reality checking yourself and checking the belief that you're fixating on. So in this case, the belief you have is if I ask someone to dance, it's going to be painful, I'm going to get rejected, embarrassed, or both. Now what you want to do is ask yourself, is this true? Can I be certain it's true? Do I have any evidence in my life to back up this fear? And then, do I have any experience in my life to contradict this fear, to show that it's really not valid? Lastly, have I faced anything like this before? How did it turn out? So what happens is when you go through these questions, it often creates insurmountable proof that shows that your fear is not based on anything. My tipping point came when my fear of missing out became greater than my fear of rejection or being judged. I just looked at all the things that had happened to me in my life, all the things I've just missed out on, and I realized how nonsensical it was. It was just completely holding me back. So the next thing I had to do was prove it to myself by taking action. So the third part to this is practicing exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is a psychological technique that helps people reduce fear, anxiety, or avoidance by gradually and repeatedly confronting the things they're afraid of in a safe and controlled way until eventually the fear is diminished. The key here is avoidance fuels anxiety and exposure dissolves it. So what does this look like in the context of going out to social and asking someone to dance? Well, step one would be go out and watch some social dancing. I'm gonna go out for 15 minutes, no pressure, I don't have to dance. Step two would be go out and then maybe just stand on the side of the dance floor, groove a little bit, and just try and enjoy the music. But you don't have to ask anyone to dance. Step three would be to go to the class before the social, and this is a great anxiety reducer because all these strange faces all of a sudden become friendly because as you go through and practice with each person, you can say, hey, my name's Robin, what's your name? How are you? Where are you from? And all of a sudden you've broken the ice. Step number four is go to the social with a friend or two that you already know, maybe from the class that you take outside the social or just a friend you're invited to dance. That way, these people are already inside your comfort zone. Or you can ask someone to dance from the class right before the social who you just met. Step number five, go to the social. It could be with a friend or alone, but you start asking strangers. Ask one new person to dance. Next time you go, ask two people. Next time you go, ask three people. Bit by bit, step by step. These small steps and mini successes breed confidence. And what you want to remember is avoiding discomfort now often creates more discomfort or more regret in the future. Fear fades when you face it. You don't need to show up and be fearless. All you need to do is be brave, dance, show up, and your confidence will catch up. Simple ways to boost confidence. Go to a class, find a good teacher, and really learn your fundamentals. This is the single biggest return on your time invested. You have a real skill, you've had positive experiences in your class, and those successes make you feel confident and your fear diminishes. Next, go to the social with some friends, like I said, and then you have some warm-up dances, people that are already inside your comfort zone. And again, go to the class before the social, make some new friends so that all of a sudden the ice has been broken. Lastly, one way people create unnecessary stress for themselves is they're trying to dance outside their comfort zone in socials. When you go to a class, that's where you're trying to learn and expand your comfort zone. At the social, just do what you know how to do. There's no need to create unnecessary stress for yourself, which allows your shyness to kick in. By the time I hit my 30s, I mostly got rid of my shyness, but it's not something I can simply just delete from my personality. Every now and again, when I'm outside of my comfort zone, when I'm around a lot of new people in new environments, it can pop up. But by facing it, I can slowly phase it out. And now I'm so much more comfortable with talking to strangers, people I don't know, in environments I've never been in before. Once you do it, all of a sudden it gets easier and easier and easier. Everything is a big deal until you do it. So you need to face your fears. Dance has led to some of the most incredible relationships, adventures, and experiences in my life, and it's created an incredible community around me. First in breakdancing, and now in salsa. So I would really love for you to have this too. So be brave, take it one step at a time. Often the best things in life are on the other side of your fears. So if you're afraid of something, that's a sign that you have to do it. If you're looking for online programs to help you on that journey, step by step, building your skills, building your positive experiences, amassing confidence, check out thedancedojo.com. We've got programs in salsa and bachata, and they will be a huge help for you. I know because they were for me. So until next time, put all this into work. Happy social dancing, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.